Hey everyone, welcome back to Kids Connect. I am Gina Beal, the Children's Ministry Director here at Alamo Heights United Methodist Church.
This is Sean. I am the Associate Director, and we're here to have some fun today and talk about all things movies, because we love movies in the kids' world.
Some of the things we do here at the church, I started to say during the year, but we're really limited by what time the sun goes down, because we like to do outdoor movies. And we've done some that I think they're kind of current, but the kids are probably going to say that's old. But we've done like Encanto and Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs. And then we also, in the summer, we like to have Wacky Wednesdays for our older kids, typically second grade through fifth grade. But it got us talking about some of our favorite movies that are good family movies. And I'm going to age myself, but a lot of mine are older. I have raised 3 boys, so I will say ahead of time, my disclaimer is they're kind of skewed towards boys, but good for everybody. So, and Sean, you've got boys and girls at your house. So Sean will be more balanced than I am, and I'm very boy-friendly. Like, this is going to tell you a lot about me, but my favorite movie of all time, year-round, is Elf. I love Elf, and I could watch it all year round. I mean, the message is about family, finding your family, and the Christmas spirit, which I love Christmas, so Elf is my favorite movie of all time. And you could have Christmas in July and watch Elf together as a family and make popcorn and put syrup on your spaghetti and other things, fun things you want to do.
All the food groups.
Sean, what's your favorite movie of all time? Family friendly.
Oh, gosh. And you said I do have a mixed household, but I kind of went out at this selfishly because I think about some classic movies, that I remember just from childhood and just kind of growing up. And, it's one thing when you look at your media cabinet, you have access to all these current movies, but some of the older classics are not so easy to come by. And we've had this thing ever since COVID that, with our kids that we throw in, okay, these are movies that everybody should watch at some point in their lives. And so we just came up with this list of different things. And so we did some of that fun stuff with my crew. But I'm totally an 80s kid, y'all, and I have to say, my first recommendation, every kid needs to see it, is E.T. Every kid needs to see this movie, I feel like. It's just such a classic, of not only of, how the kids interact with him and bring him in, and it just kind of crosses all languages, that they learn to love E.T. and communicate with E.T., even though he's not of this world. And then just, of course, the kids saving the day, and you get to see the neighborhoods during Halloween and the trick-or-treating, and it's just a classic.
Okay, and this is an oldie, really oldie, but it's such a good movie. And here, side note, if you're looking for a website to go find out if a movie is appropriate for your kids, there is a website called dove.org, DOVE.org, and you just type in the title of your movie, and they'll give you all the synopsis of the movie, and if there's any, language and how many words, and it's really detailed. It's very conservative, so if you're looking for a conservative spin on your movies, just to kind of pre-screen before you show it to your kids, it's been my go-to for a long time. And so dove.org says that Spy Kids is good for all ages. My kids watch that over and over and over and over. It is so fun. So kids are the heroes and they have to save the day. And there's actors that have been around for a long time, like Antonio Banderas. He's in there. So there's something for the parents too and the kids, but a really great movie. The parents are spies, and then the kids have to step in and be spies as well. Really fun. Watch it over and over again. And there's an appearance by George Clooney. Just saying.
Okay, I have one that's a stretch, or shall we say a shrink, not really a stretch. So, okay, this is crazy out there, but I just think the concept of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is just such a cool thing when you're a kid, and this kid's point of view. So if you do not remember it, you got to go way back. Dad's a scientist, right? And he has this machine, and he thinks he's a failure, but actually one day it works, and he accidentally shrinks his children, but he doesn't realize it, and he throws them out with the trash. And so the whole plot of the movie is these kids that are, they are trying to get their way back into the house, back to communicate with Dad and get unshrunk, so to speak, but they have to navigate their backyard. And so imagine, a can of Coke being this huge mountain in your backyard that you have to overcome. And so it's just a really cool thing and imaginative. And, I just think it's fun. So
navigate the tall blades of grass and not getting stepped on and not getting eaten by the dog.
Or eaten by an ant.
It's pretty fun. And there's several of those Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movies, right? Okay, if you have boys, like I had boys, and they play baseball, Sandlot is hilarious. A good movie. I mean, it's probably for older kids, but good story about friendship and baseball and summer and being the new kid moving to a new neighborhood and a fun kind of surprise ending. So my boys loved Sandlot. Again, watch that over and over again.
Okay, I'm going to bring it up to the current-ish times.
Good.
Okay,
I'm feeling old.
My animated pick that our whole family loves, and I mean adults are even hee-hawing, is Shrek. I mean, you gotta love Shrek. Everything from the music that's so fun to also just, it's that epic quest. It's the anti-hero, that Shrek saves the day, but it's also such the message of, you know what? It's what's on the inside that makes you who you are. And it's just an awesome movie. And who doesn't love Donkey? Donkey is the most epic character. It's awesome. It's that unfairy tale, right? It's the fairy tale, but in a different kind of perspective.
Donkey's the friend you didn't know you needed. Okay, I said I only had one favorite movie, but really I have two. My other favorite movie is The Sound of Music. It's an oldie, but still comes on TV at least once a year. I love that movie. Just her story of where she comes from and just feeling like you're not good enough, and the turnaround from the children in the movie, and I love me a good musical.
Well, this one goes way back. Of course, so many of your great movies, they were actually a book, right? Before they were a movie. And so I have this passion for this movie because I read the book as a kid. And the book was actually The Incredible Journey. But Disney, I think, made it into the film version. And it was called Homeward Bound. Okay, so this totally dates me. But when you pull up Homeward Bound and you watch it today, okay, get ready. The cinematography is not that great. We've come a long, long way after all these years. But I'm telling you, if you love animals, if your family has pets and loves animals, this is just a heart-grabbing tale of this family who goes, in a nutshell, this family goes on vacation and they leave their dogs, right? Their dogs and their cat with some buddies while they go on vacation. Only the animals don't understand that. In their mind, they're thinking, oh my goodness, we've been left. Our family has left us. So they actually leave on a journey to try to get back home. And so it's just all from the animals' point of view, and how they even made this movie back all those years ago. I just don't even know. But, our family is we're just such animal people and pet people that this was a great adventure movie of the animals trying to get back to their home.
And you're rooting for them the whole
and
way.
You're just, let go, Sassy. You can do it. I even named one of my pets Sassy after Sassy from the movie. So if that tells you, I really liked it.
Okay, that's pretty cute. Another one that we really like, it's probably for older kids too, but Secondhand Lions, if you haven't seen that one. It's a story about a really shy boy who's dropped off by his mom at his uncle's house, his great uncles that he hasn't met before, and they're really crusty and not really kid friendly. And the story is fun to watch them evolve and learn how to communicate with a kid and bring out their fun, adventurous side. And they kind of go on an adventure. So these uncles are rumored to possess a great fortune. So at first, the two old uncles are set in their ways, and they think that the young boy Walter is a nuisance, but they eventually warm up and they start telling him tall tales from their past, which as they're telling their stories, you're like, is this true? Are they making this up? And then, but in the end, I won't give away the ending, but it's got a happy ending, and he does help the uncles to find their youthful spirit, which is a good reminder to all of us as we get older it's good from time to time to, as I say, release your inner child. And that's a good one.
So that's not one that I heard of. I wasn't familiar with that one.
Oh, it's so good.
But I do have one that is on your list that I 100% agree with, because my family is also kind of history people. Well, part of my family. They're really history, like to learn things. The Night at the Museum was a great family movie, because what kid doesn't imagine this? I mean, I know I did, but every kid just kind of thinks, ooh, what happens at night? Whether you're at the zoo or whether you're at the museum, what happens at night when all the lights go off and the people are gone? Every kid, probably has imagined this creative concept. But, Night at the Museum is awesome because it's right there at the Smithsonian-like museum. so you get to get a glimpse of inside history with some of the different exhibits, and it's just cool. It's an awesome movie, and of course now since it is modern, the cinematography definitely catches up and it makes it exciting. So that one was definitely well worth a watch with your family.
Well, I will say, if you've seen the movie and then you actually go to the museum, you do kind of look at those characters a little differently, like, are you real? Are you not? Are you looking at me? Like, you start walking, you feel like their eyes are following you. It's fun.
And you'll never look at the T-Rex quite the same again.
That is a true statement.
All right. It's my last one. And again, self-admitted 80s kid here, but I remember being in the theater with the popcorn, seeing this movie, and so timely because I think they're talking about a redo of some kind, but classic Goonies. I mean, Goonies is just awesome. This bunch of kids that pal around together, they're kind of all misfits in different ways, shape, or form, but they have this epic adventure as they search for the treasure accidentally. But, when you fall in a hole, what else can you do except look for the treasure, right? It's just classic. Definitely for your older kids,
yeah,
for sure. But it is a classic and very exciting that they're talking about how that might look with today's version. I'll be there to see that one too.
So far, the movies we've been talking about have been for older kids, but can't leave out the little ones. So this is a classic. It's been around a really long time. But Winnie the Pooh, it's not just a show, but there's also movies. Winnie the Pooh, really great stories of friendship, and Christopher Robin and Piglet and Eeyore and the owl and rabbit, and they go on all kinds of adventures, really great for the little kids. And I'm going to out one of my sons. I won't say which one because he's probably not going to be listening. But Winnie the Pooh was so important. He wanted to watch it all the time. He had a little stuffed Pooh, and I still have it at my house for him. I need to give it to him. But he even wanted to take it to college with him because he could so connect with Winnie the Pooh, and it was such a big part of his childhood.
My son loved Pooh Bear too.
Oh my gosh,
Loved
so good.
Pooh.
Another oldie, but some of these are classics for a reason. So you can still keep watching them. They're still good years after they came out, like A Bug's Life. That's a great one for kids. And okay, I am really, really going to show my age, but have any of you guys seen The Rugrats? It was a TV show when my boys were little, and then the Rugrats movies. So it reveals the world from a baby's point of view, which is so funny. Just the things you imagine when you're talking to a baby and they're trying to tell you something. You're like, wonder what they're thinking. So in the Rugrats, you find out what they're thinking. I think they're hilarious. So we still have little family sayings that we have pulled from the Rugrats movie. And I mean, classic because they've done it at least 4 times. Toy Story, that's always a good one. Personally, I think Toy Story 1 is the best one, but I have people that would argue with me and say that 2, 3, and 4 are also really good. Just stories about friendships and what are your toys thinking? So when you, as a kid, you leave your room, you leave your toys behind, what happens to the toys? What do they do? What adventures do they go on? And what are they thinking about you leaving them behind? All right. Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.
Letting us talk about our favorite movies. We'll see you next time.
Happy watching.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Kids Connect. Don't forget to follow or subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss a single episode. If you have any questions, email us at podcasts@ahumc.org. That's podcasts@ahumc.org. You can also visit our website, ahumc.org, anytime. Any related links are also in this episode's show notes. Again, thank you so much for being a listener. We truly appreciate your time.